Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Elders Boxing. We're back with another one. Yo, we're gonna build on this boxing talk right here. We got this fight recap for July the 6th and the 7th. You know what I'm saying? We had some, good fights, good weekend. We had some controversies. We had a couple of upsets, you know what I'm saying, and some good performances. So we're gonna touch on all of that. Before I get into it, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. You can follow me on my social media, Twitter, Instagram. Tap into the website, ldusboxing.com. That's how we're going to get down. Mike Biggs Boxing, what's good with you, bro? Salute. So we're going to cover it from top to bottom, man. We're going to start with the zone card. So it was Fisher, Matchroom card. Fisher versus Babbage. They had some young guys on the card, you know what I'm saying? So it was pretty much kind of like a prospect card, and then got up to the heavyweight fight. So this was the lineup right here. All the A side won except for Courtney. She lost. She got outboxed to Zappa. I can't pronounce her name, but she got outboxed by the Polish fighter. I mean, it was kind of easy money, you know what I'm saying? She couldn't get in, and she was getting tagged every time she tried. And then, the rest of the young guys, Hedges and Vaselli got a victory. Reese Bellotti, he been on a nice little run as of late, you know what I'm saying, since losing to Ray Ford. He beat Levi Giles. It was a solid fight. Giles wasn't aggressive enough. He was letting my man outwork him. He only broke through at the 12th round. He hurt him in the 12th round. But Bellotti pretty much won all the rounds. So I scored it like 8-4, 9-3, something like that. So Bellotti, he might need an opportunity at a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he resurrected his career. Main event ain't too much to talk about. I mean, Johnny Fisher ran through Alan Babbage. That shit was like 36 seconds in the first round. So it's like really not too much to talk about. I think the biggest thing is the support that Johnny Fisher get. You know what I'm saying? As a kind of an up-and-coming fighter. You know what I'm saying? They say he had like 7,000 up in there. That ain't bad for a guy that really ain't done nothing in the sport. I mean, Alan Babbage, he always been a guy that was reckless, not good defensively, one-dimensional. So he already got knocked out in the first round before. So it wasn't no big thing. But yeah, Fisher, they can make a little star out of him, like a cult figure, especially over there. I don't know if that can translate internationally, but definitely over there. So yeah, I like it though. Fisher been active, he been improving. So that's what's up. I like to see him step up, maybe fight one of those domestic guys over there. David Elijah, Soul Dakers. Who else in that round? Frazier Clark. Fabio Worley, maybe he's ready for those guys. Those would be solid fights for them. So we'll see. But that was easy money, too easy. JD, what's good with you? Salute. Yeah, that was easy money, bro. I was thinking Babbage gonna at least go into like the halfway point of the fight because they know each other and shit like that, right? That dude ain't make it out the first minute. It's all good though. Johnny's father's a social media star in Europe. They support. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. I seen them when they came to Vegas. I was at the fight in February. He had a bunch of people there. For sure. Alright, I want to touch on this fight. I seen the card and everything. I won't really like covering the whole card. I really wanted to see this fight, but it was actually a fun card, to be honest. That Nate Diaz card. But Danny Jacobs is shot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't expecting to look like that. But then again, maybe I was just trying to be on the bright side type shit, right? But yeah, he looked done. He couldn't pull the trigger. He was slow, lethargic. I don't know. I mean, Shane didn't do much. He just put the jab in his face and was a quicker fighter. Shane won a wide unanimous decision over Danny Jacobs at super middleweight. This is like a one-off fight for Shane at super middleweight. He want to go back to 160. He called out Erislandy Lara, which I think he's like number 6 in the WBA at 160. So I don't know. I don't know if that fight actually is realistic, but we'll see. But Dan Jacobs is done at any level. I think if he was to continue, he'll mess around and get stopped. And he gonna lose fights. He gonna lose the rest of his fights unless he's fighting on like a, you know what I'm saying, a real low level circuit. Anytime he step up, because he can't beat Shane Mosley Jr. at this level, which I ain't think. I think he more so like a C plus type of guy. So he ain't beat no other super middleweight. So it is what it is. It's a wrap for Jacobs. The Golden Boy show. It's the Zepeda versus Cabrera. We had a little upset on this card too. You know, for the most part, all the A-side guys won on the prelims. You know what I'm saying? The upset came with Alex Martin versus Pedro Campa. Alex Martin's with Golden Boy. Pedro Campa, you know, they had like a difference in styles. Martin was boxing in the southpaw stance, moving and shit, and Campa was coming straight forward. I thought the fight was pretty even. It was a questionable knockdown at the end of that fight. They kind of, you know what I'm saying? It kind of swayed the judges, but those scores was wide as well. They scored them all for no, it was a split decision, I believe, for Pedro Campa. So that's a mild upset. So that set Pedro Campa up with some business. Maybe he can fight one of these up and coming guys that they have. Floyd Schofield comes to mind. You know what I'm saying? And this fight was at 140, I believe. So, but still, that can be an opponent for Floyd Schofield or any of these guys they got over there. They got a couple of guys at 140. They got Kenneth Sims, who's supposed to be coming back August the 10th. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's going to be somebody's opponent after this. Joe Iwate, he looked good. That young kid can fight. It's like his third, fourth fight. They've been keeping him active. Third, fourth fight this year. So yeah, salute to him. Manny Flores got a good knockout victory. You know, I like Gucci Manny Flores. He's tough. Southpaw. He only got one loss to Walter Cervantes, but I think he's good though. You know what I'm saying? I think they can step him up. The co-main event, Ricardo Sandoval versus Tito Acosta. Man, look, this was a good fight. Back and forth. Very close, give and take. Both guys was touching each other, was hurting each other, you know. I think Ricardo was doing good to the body. Acosta, a strong veteran, he was hurting Ricardo as well. So it was like a back and forth fight. I thought Acosta was going into the final round. He got stopped in the 10th round. It was late in the fight. He got stopped. It was a bad stoppage. Like he got buzzed with a shot. But I don't think he was like out on his feet type shit, and the referee stopped it. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It was a bad stoppage. So Ricardo Sandoval got the stoppage victory. He won the WBC silver title, so that put him in position to fight for a title down the line in the near future because they got 3 vacant belts at 112. This is a flyweight fight. So the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO is vacant right now. But the WBO and IBF about to get fulfilled, about to have some vacant title fights coming up in the next couple of months. And the WBC, so he can put himself in position to fight for that. So we'll have to see. But yeah, that stoppage was trash, man. Terrence Bailey sitting in the building. Was good with you. Salute. Shane didn't look good. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's how you know it's a wrap for Danny because if Shane didn't look good, he barely won. Well, he barely did enough to win, honestly. Then Jacobs couldn't pull the trigger. Then you know it's time for him to call it a day. That's in my opinion. I ain't telling no fighter to retire, but I'm just saying. On that level, he ain't gonna never do nothing. It's Zepeda versus Cabrera. So Zepeda coming to this fight was #1 across the board, and all sanctioned bodies at 135 pounds. You know what he brings to the table. Southpaw, throw a lot of punches, got a great engine. He was facing Cabrera, who was, a little bit more upright. Southpaw. The first round, I thought he won the first round, Cabrera. You know what I'm saying? He was tagging Zepeda, but Zepeda stepped it up. And he's a guy that you're gonna have to put some shit on him if you're gonna deter him. Like if you ain't punching like that or you ain't doing something to maybe movement to kind of throw him off, you're going to have a long night. Any lightweight from Tank all the way down. That's just my opinion. Because Zepeda is strong, got a good work rate, and he got good power. He just stayed consistent with his work, and it broke through in the third round. He landed a nice body shot, then like a little flurry after that, and that stopped Cabrera. And Cabrera didn't want to get back up, so that's a nice victory because Cabrera gave Pitbull Cruz all he wanted in a kind of, you know, ugly type of fight, stylistically type of fight. But Zepeda ran through him. You know what I'm saying? So Zepeda is definitely a threat at 135 pounds for sure. Teaching the building. What's good with you? So against any of those top guys, Tank, Shakur, Lomachenko, name him. You know what I'm saying? I think he's right there. But Ranacek, I know Oscar said they want to go down the WO route, which actually makes sense. And I think that's a fight they'll definitely win. We'll have to see. The landscape at 135 started to, you know what I'm saying? It started to shake up a little bit. But Zepeda, I think he deserves an opportunity for sure. And I think he would have a good account for himself when he get into those fights. We'll have to see though. Jonathan 97, what's good with you, bro? Salute. And I think it's time for Zepeda to fight for a title. Like, if you're gonna stay active, that's cool. But I think, they should go after Baranchyk if they can get him. If not, go after Shakur. They need to fight for a title in this next fight. But I see they wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, talking about Shakur post-fight. They was talking about Baranchyk. You know what I'm saying? I know they messed up his name. They said Baranchenko. They was talking about Baranchyk because everybody know inside the industry, behind the scenes, that Tank and Loma is next. So calling them out really don't really make sense. Only if you're just talking about future fights. Because they're about to fight things. For sure. Alright, the top ranked card. So Shakur versus Artem. We already know the storylines going into it. Here's the battle sheet, the battle card. So Ali Feliz, the heavyweight, he went the distance for the first time. Got a 4-round decision victory over Robinson Perez, Kevin Davis, and Kevin Johnson. So it was a competitive fight. Probably could have went either way, honestly. This was a fight for Kevin Davis. If he would have lost this fight, he was going to, definitely get cut from Top Rank for sure. But I think this is the fight to let everybody know that he ain't getting no more easy ones. So Kevin Davis is, he got the tools. It seems like he got the tools. I don't know if he just got I don't know. He missing a lot of shit. But I feel like with his height and reach, he should be a little bit more crisp with his shit. But Kevin Johnson was doing some good stuff, crafty stuff in the fight. And they gave it to Kevin Davis. So I think from here on out, they giving him tough fights. If he want to fight on Top Rank, they're going to give him tough fights. And at 140, Tiger Johnson, they can give him Polanco, Delgado, there's another kid, Evans Rodriguez. All 4 of those guys would beat Kevin Davis. They might stop him. So I don't know about Tiger stopping him, but they'll be favored over Kevin Davis. So we'll see what they have for him. Keith Colon, the featherweight Puerto Rican, made his pro debut last night. He looked good. I like how he was invested in the body in those short, 2 rounds. He stopped the guy. So, yeah, man. Good to see him back. I said that was a good performance, pro debut. William Foster versus Erson Garcia. So, this was a mild upset as well. Garcia, I think most remember him getting knocked out on Showbox last year. First round knockout. And he was the favorite going into that fight. And he had one little off fight to get back in the win column. And Will Foster was the guy that, that was the favorite. And he wasn't doing nothing. Like, Will Foster was jumping in. When he get touched with something, he'll jump in and he'll get countered. That was the flow of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Garcia would land like a little jab or something, and Foster would jump in recklessly and get countered. And they was doing that the whole fight. And I felt like Foster, he had a left hook late in the fight. He probably should have been using that earlier and for the duration of the fight, because that was the punch that knocked out Garcia when he got stopped in the first round. So Garcia got the unanimous decision. Good victory. You know what I'm saying? Put himself in line at 130 to be, to step up. He 19 and 1. So yeah. So Foster got to go back to the drawing board for sure. Because that's a fight he probably should have won. I moving to the main portion. Abdullah Mason versus Luis LeBron. I mean, this is one-sided. Pretty much, what we predicted because we rate Abdullah Mason so high. I mean, it was a great performance. Hand speed, power, defense. The first couple of when the fight first started, the jab was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That set the tone. So Mason got a third round stoppage victory. He dropped him twice in the second round. He hit him with some shots around the guard, the high guard, and dropped him. I mean, LeBron, this was a fighter that's supposed to give Mason rounds. And he gave everybody else rounds. Now, he did fight at lower weights. You know what I'm saying? And he fought some guys at 26 and 130. Gave him some solid rounds. He never really won. He didn't win those fights when he stepped up, but he gave him rounds. And when you beat a guy like that, that's supposed to give you rounds, it's time to step you up, bro. It ain't you know what I'm saying? It's time they gotta find some work for him for sure. Because Abdullah Mason is a great talent for sure. He'll be back August the 17th on the Christian Mbili versus Sergey Derevyanchenko undercard. So that's good. He fighting in Canada, get to move around and stay active. So yeah, they gotta step him up. You know what I'm saying? They gotta step him up. Even the opponents of these guys, Keyshawn and Shakur, I'd take those fights. Like, I think it's time to step them up. 10 rounds, put some little regional titles on the line, because I don't know if you're learning it. I don't know if you're gaining anything by this. You know what I'm saying? And he got the fans behind him. So if he keep doing what he's doing, he can. They saying he can beat. He's the best. He's the best fighter on the card. He's the best lightweight. So now we gotta be calling for names, like we gotta be calling for the champions and the number one contender. We gotta call for Zepeda. We gotta call for Tank, Loma, Shakur, all those guys. He gotta fight all those guys now. You know what I'm saying? Would Top Rank move him like that? Probably not. They'll probably give him some more fights. But yeah, so this was gonna start happening, yo. When this will happen to all black fighters. We gotta keep it a buck. We high on Abdullah Mason, so he going crazy, right? Once he have a fight where he goes a distance, they gonna kill him. They gonna say he's this, he's that. He ain't what he's supposed to be. He can fight a tough guy that's never been stopped, right? That's how this shit works. So we'll see how Top Rank move him. But I like the activity though. You know what I'm saying? And he nice. He like that. I think he'll be able to rise to the occasion, and he can beat a lot of these contenders in the lightweight division. Just off the, I think off the eye and the skill level, I think he definitely can beat some of these guys. I agree. Step him up. Yeah, step him up, bro. It's time to step him up, bro. For sure. It's time to. Keyshawn Davis versus Miguel Madueno. Now this was a rough, ugly type of fight, entertaining, type of fight. Had a little bit of everything. But Daniel was strong in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Fighting that lightweight, he's strong there. He has far as high as 154. So he's a strong guy, heavy puncher. He was pushing Keyshawn, but his defense is trash. You know what I'm saying? So he was getting caught in between a lot of those shots. Keyshawn was doing some good work to the body. I think he should have picked up his jab a little more, honestly. But it was one way action. And Medina was just tough, and he wasn't getting stopped. You know what I'm saying? Andre Noble, what's good with you, bro? Salute. So that's like a fine line, because you face a guy that's not as determined not to get stopped. That got like 30-some fights. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to stop him. And then then you cross that line to guys that got power that would get that guy up out of there. And maybe Keyshawn didn't really do a lot of stuff to get, to kind of get the knockout. But I like his hand speed. I thought he fought a tough, rugged guy. So you can tell he can weather that shit. But he could have made the fight a little bit more easier to me. You know what I'm saying? All that wrestling and antics. I felt like he could have made it easier. Maybe use a little bit of lateral movement. It's not going to hurt. Because the guy, you can touch him anytime you want to. That's just me. But yeah, it was a solid performance. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, the second he has a test in the ring, fans will say, yeah, hype. Yeah, that's how they do. That's why I say, just move him up now. about Abdullah Mason. I move him up now. Give him McDaniel next. Give him McDaniel. Because I mean, they said he would stop McDaniel. He would stop Artem. Give him those guys in succession. Give him McDaniel, then give him Artem. 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And let's see. Because those are solid opponents, right? They solid. They were solid last night. They came to fight, and then they, they got separated on. But yeah, give them those guys and let's see. Because I feel like he can do it, but he ain't gonna be able to prove it. Because they're gonna start diminishing him now. You know what I'm saying? That's life really. Everybody is on him. You know what I'm saying? Giving him props and praise, saying he's this and that, and then they looking for one little chink in the armor. You know what I'm saying? One little chink in the armor, so they can say, "Oh shit, he ain't what they said he was, and he ain't this." But we can see on the talent off the screen is crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, move him now. What's the wait? What's the wait? Because if you give him guys like they gave him last night, for the rest of if you're giving him these opponents like they giving him last night, then they're gonna put them up there for criticism for people who that's how it is. Yo, boxing, we always go off what somebody say. We gotta counter that instead of using your own judgment and keeping your thoughts so how it is. Like, this is my thoughts, what I talk about on my channel. I don't care what nobody else talking about. I feel like he a good fighter, all that good shit, and I just think it's time to step him up. So you'll get influenced what other people say. That's just how this shit go. But I think they can move him against McDaniel next. I think he'll do well. For real. That dude don't got no defense. He said, I agree. Appreciate you, bro. Bruce Gas in the building. What's good with you? Co-main event, yo. I mean, this was a robbery, bro. This first before I get into it. I thought Shaki Foster outboxed Conceição. Did I really like the performance? Nah, because Shaki is a aggressive guy that can put some hurt on you, and he had opportunities to really do that. But with that being said, I thought he watched Conceição. I really can't think of no rounds that I was giving him. After a certain point, when I'm watching the fight, if the fight seems one-sided in rounds, I stopped scoring this shit. And that's how I got to in this fight. Conceição was missing a lot of shots. He really wasn't hitting them. He landed shots here and there, but his form was off. He was lunging and reaching. And Shaka was just outboxing. He said, that's what I'm saying. So those should be the fights next then. It ain't going to be next, but I'm saying they can give it to him later this year, one of those guys. Yeah, step him up. Give him McDaniel or Artem or somebody else. One of those guys, the French guys. But I thought this fight was easy to score, man. Now, Conceição was aggressive, but that shit won't do nothing. He won't really landing nothing for sure. So, that shit was crazy. That shit was kind of hard to watch though. Like the reading off the scorecards, because they clearly took it from Shaki Foster. So Conceição got awarded split decision victory, become the new WBC champion. And we're gonna see, but because I believe he got robbed. But what's gonna solidify the robbery in everybody's eyes that it was planned type shit is what happens next. If they don't make the rematch next, and they try to do like a unification between Conceição and Navarrete, Oscar winner, it's something up. Or if they give, because I heard Andres Cortez was getting a title shot next. If Cortez get a title shot before Shaki Foster get his rematch, it's something in the water. You can make a claim that this shit was planned, because this should be a immediate rematch. Like, how all the sanctioned bodies would come together when something's wrong and they order the fight again. That's what they should do right here. because this is I don't know, bro. This is clear to me, but we'll see, man. Hopefully, O'Shaquie Foster can get the rematch, but I don't know. The politics of boxing is crazy, and yeah, ain't really so much to say about it. This is so crazy. Shakur versus Artem. This fight started off slow, and like this crazy because sometimes you gotta well, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. I always speak for myself. I have to turn off or not listen or see what people are talking about because I think I pretty much got this boxing shit covered. You know what I'm saying? So it may sound kind of arrogant, but I really don't really need, you know what I'm saying? I listen to it for entertainment, but I already knew how this fight was going to go. It won't nothing. I don't be listening to what these fighters be saying when I watch what they do in the ring. Shakur said he was going to beat the guy up and stop him. That's not your MO. Even though he tried, that's not his MO. Artem is a crafty type of guy, kind of awkward, good footwork. He know how to he know how to go rounds. He's a professional fighter. So I thought early, the fight was, it was kind of tactical and shit. Then I like how Shakur turned it up. It wasn't a bad performance from Shakur. It's only bad because if you listen to what he say, you know what I'm saying? People coming into the fight saying he need a knockout, he needs to impress, he need to do this and do that. I just say he had to win. You know what I'm saying? Because if Tank Davis saying that he's part of my 6-fight deal, all you gotta do is win. If he lost, he won't be a part of that. Or he'll be pushed to the back of the line. But it was some things that he could have done better in that fight. Like I said, his jab should have been more consistent. That would have kind of, because in the middle rounds he probably could have stopped Arnold or went on the way to stopping him. But he didn't switch up his game plan. He made it kind of predictable, just walking forward, going to the body. You know what I'm saying? He was investing into the body. But I like for him to be invested in the jab more too. His defense on point. That's why he's gonna be hard to beat because he can sit in the pocket and not get hit with some shit. But he could have did better with cutting off the ring. All I had to do was step to the left or to the right. You know what I'm saying? He was allowing Artem to get out of that when he had him cornered. And credit to Artem though, he tried to fight down the stretch, and he's tricky. He's like I'm saying, he's a guy that. Give him to Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a fight too. It make him think a little bit, you know what I'm saying, before. I think he could probably stop him as well, but make him think. But I think Shakur performance was okay. He wasn't nothing crazy. Way better than the shit we seen last November. Because he wasn't taking advantage of the counter-punching opportunities. But this one, he was alright. He was trying to make the fight. But he's gonna get a lot of criticism. He's in the doghouse as a boxer in the boxing world right now. So nothing he can say or do gonna get him out of that shit. The only thing gonna get him out of that doghouse if he lose. But he will get a lot of criticism and ridicule and memes and all that shit. Then they'll be like, okay, come on back, Shakur. Other than that, he gonna catch a lot of flack no matter what he do. But he got a unanimous decision victory. The whole crowd walking out, all that shit. That's the product of just the whole noise around him. Because he had a performance kind of like that against Conceicao. They wasn't walking out. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't too long ago. He had a performance like that against him. But it is what it is. He moves on. He's still a tough fighter to beat. Now he's in a kind of tough situation. We're gonna see what his next move. But as far as the performance last night, it was alright. It wasn't nothing crazy. I thought he could have did something better though, cutting the ring off and using the jab better. Shouldn't even be a rematch. Foster should have gone to the next person. They wasting his time. Foster should have won. Yeah, he should have. For real. Andrew Gray, what's good with you? Salute to you. They try to get their favorite fighters wins without being Shakur. Yeah, that's how it be. Just be walking. He was walking with him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the thing too. He could have putting on pressure, but if we would cut the ring off, it would have been better pressure. Would be good for Mason too. Yeah, he coming off a loss, you know what I'm saying? But I guess he can give him some solid rounds if he can make it. So we're gonna see. Like a Killer Instinct from. I thought he showed Killer Instinct. He just ain't no puncher. So it's like I feel like he showed Killer Instinct. He probably could have listened to his granddad better. What he should have, and he probably would have went home early. But I thought he showed Killer Instinct. Not well. If you talking about the De Los Santos fight, he probably gonna never get that stink off of him. But yeah, that's just part of it though. Them showing the crowd leave. I mean, that's just part of this shit, bro. Hey, if you ain't messing with them no more, you can't expect for them to mess with you. So I ain't really tripping off that too much. But I thought he tried to stop that dude. He ain't no big puncher. What's next for Shakur though? He a free agent. I think he should test the market, but I mean, it's more secure at Top Rank. He turned down a 5-fight, $15 million deal, so $3 million guaranteed. For him to fight and to stay active and shit. I mean, I ain't mad at him turning it down, but it's gonna be tough. He ain't gonna be able to get that money. I don't know. I don't know. But if you looking at it outside looking in, we don't know if we're gonna ever get no deal like that. Maybe not. He's still in the running to get the Tank fight. I was never one of those believers to say he has to go do something crazy and score a first round knockout in 35 seconds to get the Tank fight. If the man said you in my 6-fight deal, you in there. You know what I'm saying? Then the fans got to hold him to his word now for saying that. And he said he won't be undisputed. You can't be undisputed without the WBC. Now, it can change. Boxing change all the time. People change their minds. Nobody going to trip off of it. But I still believe Shakur is, no less than top 3 in the in lightweight. You may have guys, you think guys better than him, but he's the top name. And if you want to be a top guy, I think that's probably that might be one of the better wins, the best win in that division because he's so hard to beat. You know what I'm saying, with his style. So if you can really beat him, then I think that's a good win right there. But I don't know what he's gonna do, but he gonna need to mess with somebody that got some bread, and they can get these big fights. Should he go to Matchroom? If he go to Matchroom, he need to have Turki Al-Sheet as his bankroll, kind of like how they doing with Boots, because Turki is rocking with Boots. So Boots might not be able to get big fights at welterweight, but he gonna be able to get big fights down the line, because he gonna be able to get those guys in the ring because they gonna have the money for that. You see the purse bid, that wasn't Matchroom bidding that much. They had some help with that shit. So he gonna need somebody with some bankroll. But if it's like Matchroom without Turki, I don't like it, because Matchroom ain't gonna be able to get him the fights that he needs. They don't have nobody over there to fight, and they gonna have to work with other promoters. So you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, do a U-turn, come back and work with Top Rank to get Lomachenko. Let's say he wins, or you're gonna have to go holler at PBC. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think he should kind of either stay a free agent and just work with different promoters and have like not no long-term shit to get the big fights. If we go to PBC, then we got to talk about inactivity. If they're going to give him 2 or 3 fights a year, which they ain't really giving nobody that other than they top guys if they want to fight. So it's kind of tricky, bro. The most secure place is Top Rank. That's the most secure place. But if he signed a 5-fight deal, then he'll probably fight. He have to fight more Tyler. I don't know. Maybe Cambosis. I don't know how they gonna do that. Will they be able to make the Abdullah Mason fight? Will he be ready in that time? I don't know. We'll see. He ain't kind of like in a tough situation because a lot of people don't really want to fight him because of his style. And then it's it's just the public perception of Shakur is real down right now. So I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. It's Keyshawn said interview Chamberlain. Yeah, I saw that. I reposted that, put that out. He needs solid. Yeah, I'm saying yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm the LDTV in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Yeah, Top Rank. It's more a secure choice, but and then again, it's like even if he re-signed with Top Rank, it's like I don't think that takes him away from the Tank fight unless Tank changes his mind about fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because Lomachenko getting the fight, he was Top Rank, and he ain't no bigger star than Shakur. You know what I'm saying? The biggest stars in boxing, they have a fan base. They have a fan base, and they have another side that they don't like them. Lomachenko ain't like that though. Lomachenko got majority of his fan base like him. You know what I'm saying? He don't have now everybody got haters, but it ain't that significant like Shakur, Tank, Devin. You know, the black fighters, right? It's not like that. So it's like that kind of make you a big star too when you got people that's going to pay to see you lose. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We'll see what's next for Shakur. Overall, it was a solid performance against a guy. If you know Artem, then you know it was a solid fight. You know what I'm saying? People comparing it to the Frank Martin fight. I thought Shakur did better though. Because he wasn't in no threat to lose that fight. Frank Martin scored a knockdown, but my man took a knee. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he hit him with a shot and he fell. He hit him with a shot, they moved around, then he, you know what I'm saying, he protested and took a knee, right? So it's kind of a different thing. And Frank Martin had to dog out those last 4 rounds to get the win. Shakur was kind of cruising. So it's a different context. And everything is left up in the air because when you don't fuck with somebody, you ain't giving them the benefit of the doubt for shit. You know what I'm saying? And stuff can be right in your face. They're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So it is what it is. He said it just wasn't exciting. He was stepping to him. I mean, he's just not a great pressure fighter, I guess. Yeah, boxing skills. Yeah, it was an easy fight. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. But I like to see those young guys though. Mason, Keyshawn. That shit was fucked up what they did to Shockey Fawcett though. Yeah. Yo, so we had a good fight. Yo, this fight just ended maybe like an hour ago up in Japan. Martinez versus Ioka. It was a unification at 115 pounds. Super important fight because the winner can possibly get Ben Rodriguez, who is the new WBC champion, Ring Magazine, in that division. Man, this is a good ass fight, y'all. Good ass fight, back and forth. Ioka he's an older guy. His body shots was the key for his success. He was kind of getting overwhelmed by the younger, stronger guy, more aggressive Martinez. So it was like a little ebb and flow. It was a good fight, competitive, yo. I thought Martinez edged it out. I thought he landed the more eye-opening shots, cleaner. His work rate was good. He was slowing down just a tad bit with those body shots because Ioka's body shots kept him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Real good fight. At the top level, unification. So Martinez got the unanimous decision, unified champion right now, IBF and WBA. So that put him in position, and you know I thought he won the fight too. 8-4, 7-5. You know you can make a case for even a draw because that fight was tight. They were sitting in the pocket banging. You know what I'm saying? And you know. Martinez had, like I said, he had a more eye-opening shots. Ioka was landing subtle, you know what I'm saying, counter punching and digging to the body, and you know what I'm saying. But Martinez's work rate probably got him the victory. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? What's next for Martinez, man? Perfect world. Martinez versus Bam Rodriguez. 3-belt unification. I say maybe do that shit in San Antonio where the Spurs play. That's perfect scenario, right? Because Bam is a star, pound for pound guy. This was I think he solidified for that list, but this was definitely because Martinez is a tough, rugged guy. They got skills and he know how to mix it up. How he like to rumble and he like to box. He can mix it up real nice, and that'd be a solid fight for Bam for sure. That's a top guy. He beat Ioka, who was probably gonna be a future Hall of Famer for sure. So yeah, that's perfect world. But we'll probably get Bam versus Estrada rematch probably in the fall. Which I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really trying to see it, but I got it. He got a rematch clause. I respect that. It's that fight with Bam, Estrada and Bam fight is giving Estrada some some hope because he dropped Bam, and then they had him up on. They had a draw on one scorecard, and they had Estrada up on the other. So he getting some. He probably can say, well, I was winning the fight, or I was up on one of the cards, and I even dropped Bam. So that's going to be the storyline for the rematch. You know what I'm saying? But, we'll see. But I think the 3-belt unification with Bam and Martinez, that's the one. So if it's not Bam, Martinez probably has some mandatories coming up. Yeah, I think he had an IBF mandatory already. And he may get the WBA because the WBA has an interim champion. And we'll see. David Jimenez. Now that fight, if he fight Jimenez, that's gonna be a pick 'em fight, bro. That's a fight that he can lose. They got similar styles. They know how to mix up their boxing with their rumbling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we'll see. So good victory though. He went on the road. I thought he won the fight though. Yeah, he is. Yeah. I hope he came to fight though. I think it was a younger man type of fight. So yeah, good for Martinez. I expect that Oka to win. Yeah, that was a good fight though. I'm for it. 3-belt unification. Put in the Alamo Dome. Oh yeah, Alamo Dome. Yeah. I forgot about the Alamo Dome. If they can kind of get the most capacity out of that, yeah, that'd be cool too. That's a good drop for sure. So man, that's what it is, man. It was a good fight week though. A lot of stuff, a lot of storylines, a lot of content you guys can talk about for sure. If you drop content on any of your platforms, definitely a lot of shit to talk about for sure. So coming up next week, we get to see two quote unquote boogeymans in their respective divisions. That's the narrative and what the fans are saying. Janibek, we get to see him next week in Vegas against his IBF mandatory. They call him a boogeyman. And then Jerron Boots Ennis, he making his hometown Matchroom debut on Saturday. So they calling him the boogeyman. So we get to see two boogeymans next week. You know what I'm saying? And we got some other good shit next week as well. So Top Rank and Matchroom, they're gonna be going head to head. So yeah, that's good though. I wanna see how Boots, you know what I'm saying? I wanna see him, take that all in. Because it really is not about the opponent, it's not about the undercard, it's about Boots and how he get his reaction from the crowd, his hometown crowd. And they doing good numbers out there, looking like 10,000 out there in Philly. So that's dope. Trail Hill, what's good with you, bro? Salute. Yeah, Sam Goodman. Yeah. So he's in an important fight as well to maintain his IBF position, WBO position. He's number one in those sanctioned bodies. Yeah. So yeah, he got to win, and he can possibly get the anyway fight in December because we're gonna get anyway versus Doheny in September. So they'll probably be announcing that pretty soon. What else, man? Before I close it out, feel free to drop any comments talk about anything, any topics. You know what I'm saying? I got about a good 15, 20 minutes. Appreciate you guys coming through the building. Um, yeah, so that's solid right there. Sam Goodman. So Sam Goodman, he jumped in the ring on anyway after the Neri fight and said he wanted to smoke, and then he went to take a tune-up fight basically. So we're gonna see. Hopefully it don't backfire. I think Liam Wilson's on that card too, and they're talking about Liam Wilson versus Kambosos down the line. So that'll be a good fight. I believe ProBox has a card, and ProBox always, put on good shows. The legend Chocolatito is back. He fight on ESPN on next Friday. So yeah, he's back. I think he's fighting at 118. And then we get to see Boots and Janet Beck. And I believe I think it's the 15th. I think that's on Monday. We got that Japanese tournament. So yeah, I'm gonna cover that tomorrow in my show. But just something to look ahead to. Some quick news and notes, real quick. Canelo. They're talking about Canelo's 2 options. So it's down to Chris Eubank Jr., who just recently entered that shit, and Berlanga. Berlanga always been one of the options. Jamal's Charlo name was in that too, but maybe he's out right now. We'll see. When we talk about Canelo, we already know what time it is for him. And what we want as boxing fans, majority of the boxing fans would like to see him versus Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because Benavidez will get hate for wanting to fight Canelo, and people will try to deter that. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these people are not boxing fans. They don't want to see the best fights. They want to see their fighter in a position where they can lose, which is crazy to me. Just shaking my head. Because man, nobody want to see that. Yeah, I'm cool on that shit, bro. Like, I don't want to see it either. Only way I want to see that fight if it was in the UK, and they can do a big crowd, because just for the event. But honestly, I don't really want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see it, but it is, it is what it is. So, and he's trying to fight September, and they fight on So Canelo's next fight will be with PBC on Amazon Prime, for sure. He's still working with them, so that says a lot right there, bro. So Lawrence Okolie, he won that Bridgerweight title, right? That fight at 224. He gonna fight Kevin Arena. So Queensberry won that purse bid, and they made a deal, and Queensberry won a Queensberry card. So we're gonna see. Lawrence Okolie had a first round knockout over Luka Lasansky to win the title. Easy money. We'll see. I don't trust Arena in no fights no more, because the shit he did with Dubois, he let him off the hook. And then his next fight, like, I don't know, he just one of those guys not dependable. I think I talked about Pacheco coming back September the 7th. So he may get a new opponent. Who has Berlanga beat? I mean, shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta go through Canelo's resume and look at the other guys that fought him and what they do to deserve him. There's a bunch of guys like that on these guys' resume. I mean, if we being technical, he beat Paddy McCrory for the WBA final eliminator. That's what got him in the position to be the mandatory. But I mean, we can go down the line, like John Ryder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that win over Dan Jacobs got him to fight, and then he beat Parker, who quit. Who did Yildirim beat? You know what I'm saying? Rocky Fielding. Callum Smith, that was okay, because he won that tournament and he deserved a big fight. But a lot of these, like Javi Munguia. Javi Munguia is a fun fighter, but he won his title at 154. Who he beat? So we can do that shit all day long. If you know what I'm saying, if you know who they actually fought and what they did. That's just how it is. This is what he did was make himself marketable enough that Canelo can say, all right. And lower risk that Canelo can be like, all right, yeah, I'll fight him. I'll fight him. And maybe he was humble. He was on the humble. So maybe it depends how humble you are to Canelo. If you kiss in the ring type shit, that would put you in position. Because what they done in the ring, I can't really pinpoint. I would say Christian and Billy deserve an opportunity at Canelo more than Berlanga. Because he's been doing work at 168. I don't understand why Canelo won't fight Benavidez. It's a big threat there. That's why. It's a big threat. It's a big threat, and he feels disrespected by him and his team. That's why. That's why. I'm not sold on Edgar. I mean, hopefully, if that fight do happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see if he gets the support from the Puerto Ricans. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how it be. Yo, boxing really. See, boxing is not really about like what you do in the ring and who you beat and all that. It's about how good your team is. I mean, his manager is Keith Connolly. You know what I'm saying? He also manages Danny Jacobs and Sergey Derevyanchenko. I mean, Danny Jacobs fought Canelo and Triple G. And last night he made like 120K against Shane Mosley after being out the ring for 2 years and losing his last fight. So the manager is nice, right? To get him that bag. I'm just saying. It's not really, it's about your team, really, at the end of the day. And that shit's crazy. That's why this ain't no sport no more. Because if it was a sport, the number 10 would be the number 8. Then he'll beat the number 7. Then he'll beat the number 3. Then, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. That shit don't work like that. Paddy McCrory wasn't even ranked in the WBA. I do these rankings like clockwork. He wasn't even ranked in the WBA until he got the fight with Berlanga. Now he's like number 14 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that PBC have Morrell and Benavidez and King. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's so that situation is like, okay, Benavidez feel like he should get the Canelo fight first. He feel like why should I fight Morrell if I'm in line to fight Canelo? You know what I'm saying? Morrell just wants the smoke. So I get it from that perspective. But it's like, if Canelo not gonna fight you, then you might as well fight Morrell. Yeah, bro. I would love that fight too. Oh, that's what's up, bro. Hopefully. That would make the atmosphere crazy. Yeah, that's great business. If they come out, Mexican versus Puerto Ricans, that would be crazy. Yeah, that's cool though. You know what I'm saying? They come out. I like when these guys get support. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll see what's up. So Canelo, he's supposed to keep that September 14th date. And I know UFC supposed to be going, but it is what it is. Yo, they announced Virgil Ortiz versus Sergey Bohachuk. That's August the 10th. Mandalay Bay in Vegas. Yo, that shit gonna be crazy. There's no way that's gonna be a bad fight. No way. I mean, take away anything that we don't expect, like a headbutt or some crazy shit like that. If that fight is on the up and up, that's gonna be a fight of the year candidate because those guys got what? I forgot how many knockouts they got. I think those guys. I think they like one of them is 23-1. The other one is 21-0. And I think they got all knockouts and stuff in one fight, and that was Bohachuk's last fight with Mendoza. Ortiz got all stoppage victories. So, yo, that fight gonna be crazy, and their style match up real well. If you want to dig a little deeper, they got storylines behind it because Virgil used to train with Bohachuk's trainer. He left Garcia to go to Bandy Robles, and those I think he had like one fight with him, 2 fights. I don't remember. He had a bunch of training camps, but maybe only one fight because he kept getting sick and shit. So Manny Robles knows him, you know what I'm saying? And then he went right back to Robert Garcia. I mean, Bogachuck is a high level, heavy punching, heavy handed type of guy, and got high work rate too. Vergil Ortiz is like the same, but he got a little bit better technique, and I think he got a better jab. I think that may be the key. Those guys landing power jabs, but that fight is I can't see that fight being boring. You know what I'm saying? On that undercard, you're supposed to get Kenneth Sims Jr. making his not top rank, my best Golden Boy debut on August the 10th. So we'll see his opponent. I don't know. I haven't heard none yet. Charles Conwell is supposed to be on that card as well. He's top 5 in the WBC. He actually supposed to get the Bogachuck fight, but Conwell been turning down fights though, because I know for sure he turned down two possible fights that the PBC offered him. He turned down Fundora last year. He supposed to fight Fundora for the interim title. He turned it down. That's how Bogachuck got in there. So it's supposed to have been Fundora versus Bogachuck. And then, of course, we know Keith Thurman pulled out, so Fundora moved up and got his opportunity against Tim Tszyu. So it's supposed to have been Conwell. And then Conwell just turned down Jesus Ramos. So it's like, I don't know, bro. We'll see what they give him. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what they give him, for sure. So, yeah, that's what it is. So, yeah, we're coming up on this second week of July. Should have some solid fights. Well, the main event for the Matchroom and Top Rank show, it's gonna be some easy money because Janibek gonna stop Buddy inside of 3 rounds. The same thing for Boots. He gonna go through amnesia. It's gonna be crazy. So, as far as the highlights and just seeing those guys back, the excitement of their performances might be cool. But when you take a step back, they ain't really fighting top competition. Both guys' opponent. The fight for next week, though, that I think gonna probably be the one we're gonna be talking about the most, would be Raymore Tyler versus Tevin Foreman. Yo, that fight right there, very important. Because Raymore Tyler he sits at the top of the sanctioned bodies rankings and shit, and he's facing a slick, crafty former world champion who got a solid chin that can kind of undress you and make you look crazy, who's motivated in Tevin Foreman. Listen, that's a tough fight, bro. And you don't pick a style like that unless you're getting ready for another style, and that's Shakur Stevenson. So maybe they had thoughts they was going to get the Shakur fight. Maybe they get the Lomachenko fight. But that's a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one to highlight and look forward to coming up next week. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to do a show on that tomorrow and cover all that shit. I forget. I don't remember his last fight, but I know for sure he fought 3 times last year. He may have fought once this year, but he fought 3 times last year in Philly, the local shows in Philly. He's finally getting a big fight. That's gonna be interesting. Yeah, bro, that will be interesting. And Tyler didn't really look so good in his last fight. You know what I'm saying? People was jumping off the bandwagon, and we'll see what they bring to the table against Tevin. It's not gonna be an easy fight to me. My man Mike in the building. What's good with you? He fought in March. Yeah, okay, cool. I know he had a fight that got canceled. Yeah, no ring rust. No, he should be good, man. I heard he been doing good. He had an issue with his medical, but he good though. It was a false alarm type shit. But other than that, I heard he, you know what I'm saying, he been in Jersey training, doing this thing, and it's not an easy fight for Moore Tyler, bro. He gonna have to get creative with this attack, bro. The way he attacking, okay. So he active. So I'm looking at his box rate right now. So Tevin Foreman, he had 2 fights last year. Okay, 2 fights. And he had 1 fight this year. So that's what's up. Okay. I knew it was something similar. And he was coming off a 3-year hiatus. So, yeah. So, well, Tyler gotta get creative, man, because it ain't one way to attack Tevin Farmer, and I don't think he gonna be sitting in the pocket like he was in the fights he had when he was champion. Maybe he do, maybe he don't. But if y'all remember I think he had 5 title defenses. Tevin Farmer was sitting in the pocket, and I ain't like that. I ain't like him doing that, honestly, because I felt like, I understood why, but I really didn't like it because he was putting himself in position to get clipped and stuff like that and get all worked. And he was having tough fights. Like, he was winning those fights. Like, I think, John O'Carroll, Francois, Fonseca, those was really very competitive fights. You know what I'm saying? And then he went up to JoJo. JoJo all worked him and took the belt from him. So it's like, I don't know. We'll see. I just think more Tyler got to be a little bit creative, the way he worked, because the dude gonna be, slipping and sliding, and he gonna be boxing. He gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So go to the body. He gotta invest in the body for sure. Alright, man, that's what it is, man. I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. You can follow me on my social media. Scroll across the bottom. Tap into the website, ldusboxing.com, man. I appreciate you guys' support. That's my time, and I'm out.